Hello everyone, Amanda here, thanks for joining me. So this video is sharing how to make my vintage seamstress folio. So I'll be sharing with you how to make the base of the folio for you to then go away and decorate with whatever you like. I've used my vintage seamstress digital kit. So I'm just going to give you a really quick look at the layout of mine so that you can visualise in your head how it goes, and then we're going to do part one of the tutorial, and then there'll probably be another at least one, maybe two videos depending on how quick and how many mistakes I make when filming. So you'll have to watch out. So here's mine. Okay, now I've not embellished it, it's not finished, I'm just showing you the layout. So it measures, it's about, I think it's 5 by 8 and a quarter, I beg your pardon. Yeah, 5 by 8 and a quarter, and it's got a 1-inch spine. There's no binding system. It's very, very easy to make. It's very simple, a beginner's folio. So here we go, we open the first page and we've got a beautiful long pocket which holds the lovely large bingo cards and journaling cards. Okay, so this can be used for journaling, it can be a standalone gift, you can use it as a photo album, a mini photo album. I'm going to be making two and then maybe making some sort of box to put them in. So on this, so this is page one. So page one flips like so, and on the back of this flip you've got a pocket there where I've put some ephemera. Okay, and then this is a smaller flip. Okay, you can add photographs on there if you like, or you can attach ephemera with paper clips, etc. Then we've got a pocket there, which is a lovely large pocket. Okay, alright, then that folds over like so, and we've got page 2 and page 3. So page 2 has this lovely stacked pocket, and then this flip comes up, and then it comes up again. So you've got journaling space or photograph space, and then this pocket here I've put one of the envelopes to put memories in. So that folds down, then this card here goes in that pocket there to keep that from flapping about, and that one goes in there. Okay, and then on this page we've got a lovely pocket which holds the larger tags or whatever you'd like. There's quite a lot of space in there. That flips open like so, and then here, where we've added the pocket, we've just glued it on 3 sides, so we've got an extra little tuck spot there, and I've just added some little mini ephemera. Okay, and then this section here is a bit of a funky flip. So the top section just flips up like so. Okay, and then the bottom section flips down, reveals a tuck spot. It's not a gusseted pocket, it's just a tuck spot, but in the tutorial I've turned it into a gusseted pocket. So that holds more ephemera. Okay, beautiful, beautiful papers lining it there. Okay, that goes in there. So this one here, then you fold it up, okay, and then you can fold it up again. And it folds out like so. So you've got that kind of a layout. Or what you can do then is you can go further and you can flip it down. Okay, now I'm not going to get all of that on camera, but that then gives you the one at the top, you've got the space in the middle, and then you've got these 3 here on both sides. Okay, yeah, do you get me? So then that then folds up, okay, like that. That folds in, and that folds down, and then that folds down. Okay, and it just slightly tucks under there. Now all of this is held, you don't need a closure for this, because when this part is shut, the weight of that keeps it all neat and tidy. Okay, don't know why that's there, get off. Okay, and then you fold it over. Now I need to make a closure for this. I've not finished mine yet, but we've got a full envelope pocket there. So it is, you know, it's got the flaps so that you've got the full width of that for tucking things in. So I've just nicked pieces out of my other album that I made just for demonstration purposes. And then on the back page here we've got a full length pocket. Again, it is the full length because we've added, you know, the flaps when we've made the pocket. Added some ephemera there. Okay, and then you go to the back and we've got a lovely pocket at the back here, and that holds the large bingo card again and the large journaling. So it's a lovely, lovely beginner folio project. If you're new to making this kind of project, it's nice and easy to do. There is a cutting guide, and I will explain in part 2 of this video, which is coming right about now. Yeah, with the tutorials, the first thing you're going to need to do is download the cutting guide. So to save time on the tutorials, I'm not going to do any of the scoring or cutting. We're just going to construct. So you need the cutting guide. Now this will be available over in my Facebook group in the files section, and also over on my Ko-fi. I'll leave a link in the description box below. So you'll need to download it, print it out, read it, make yourself familiar with it, and then pre-cut your items, follow the scoring, and add your tape prior to construction. If you're using tape, if you're not using tape and you're using glue, then you don't need to add your tape. Now, what I will say is I am using 225 GSM cardstock. It's Craft UK brand. I get it from the range in the UK, and I get it because it's cheap and cheerful. It's like £4.99 for 20 sheets, and it doesn't crack when you score it. It's decent. Don't go over 225 GSM weight. The reason being, when you then start and do your pockets, when you're folding over your pockets, your edges will be bulky and it can protrude from the edge of your pockets if you use cardstock that's too bulky. I know that sounds nonsensical, but trust me, I know because I've done it. So I'm using 225. Don't use less than 200 or it'll be too flimsy. Don't forget, when you construct it, if you're thinking, oh, this looks a bit flimsy, it won't be by the time we've added our pockets and then also layered over with our patterned paper. It's plenty sturdy enough. So the cutting guide is in very easy to follow sections. You've got cover, middle pages, which is the main page section, and then page 1, page 2 and page 3. I thought that was an easier way to separate it rather than give you a big long list of measurements and cutting and then trying to figure out what piece is what. So follow this step by step, page by page. Okay, it looks like it's a lot of information, but it's actually not. There's a lot of space in there. It's very straightforward, so don't let it overwhelm you. I've made this very easily. It's a beginner folio. Okay, so I've cut all of my pieces for my cover, the middle section. I've done the long pockets and everything for page 1. Okay, we may well have to go into another video for the rest. So what I've done is I cut them all out. As I'm cutting them out, I write on in pencil what the piece is in relation to the cutting guide. That way, if they're on my desk and I've got to go away and come back, I'll know which piece is which. So if you write it on in pencil and write it in the middle so that your paper will either cover over it or you can rub it out, and if it leaves a mark, it doesn't matter. Okay? Make sure you label your pieces, otherwise you might get confused. Right, so we're going to start with the cover. Okay, so let me just move these pieces out of the way. Right, so what you want to do is we're going to, if you use tape, you add your tape before you fold your score lines. If you're using glue, then fold your score lines and then add your glue as you're adding your pieces together. Alright, I use tape because it's quicker and easier than glue. I'm using Score Pal tape at the moment, which isn't cheap, but it's meant to be the best. So I'm trialling it to see what it's like, and I'll let you know. So you've got cover piece 1 and cover piece 2. So cover piece 1, okay, you add your tape. So when you're scoring, you've got, I'll do one that isn't already folded. When you're scoring card, you've got a dented side, which is where you've just scored, and then you've got a bumpy side. And then when you fold your cardstock, you always go and fold in from the bumpy side. So on the cover page 1, you want to put your tape on the bumpy side, not on the dented side, okay? And then on cover piece 2, you do the same on the 1/2 inch around the edge, okay, on 3 sides. Then on the other side where you've got the dented scores, you've got a 1 inch section and then a 1/2 inch, and you put tape on the dented side on the 1/2 inch, but on the others going all the way around, they're on the bumpy side. Okay, that's really important. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to miter these corners. All right. So let me just remind myself what I'm doing. So where you've got your score lines going across, they form an X. You want to cut it across the X. Okay. You want nice sharp scissors. All right. And cut across the X. Don't cut over it, and don't cut too much under. Okay, definitely don't cut over, because you can always trim some more off, but if you go over that X, then you're not gonna have a nice corner. Okay, and then what am I doing here? That should have a bit more tape on. I need to just put a bit more tape on there. No, we don't. So at the very far end of this one, where you've got this 1/2 inch with this, you need to cut these little squares away. Okay, you don't need those. We're going to cut those away. Okay, turn it around and cut that little square away, and cut to the far side of the score line, so you're cutting the score line away with the square. Okay, so that is your 1/2 inch with the tape on the back there. All right, so we don't need to miter this side here or this side here. We just need to miter those two sides. And then what you want to do is, I'll do the other one as well. So this one's just simply mitering straight across those two edges there. Okay, so now when it comes to these, they're going to fold over, and we've done that to make the edge, this is the cover, to make the edge of the cover sturdy. Okay, you're not going to see any of these because they're going to be covered with paper, so don't worry. But what you want to do is, when you fold these over, they don't want to overlap. Okay, you don't want any overlapping. So if yours overlap, okay, like mine does there, then trim a little bit off, but don't trim any more off of the where they meet, only off of there. Okay, so just do it a small amount at a time until they no longer overlap. Okay, so you want them to fold neatly like that, so you've got like a hospital bed corner. Okay, you don't want to be overlapping at all. If there's any overlap, you need to trim a little bit off. Now this comes with practice, getting this right. I do still have to adjust mine to make sure, but it is super important. But don't over trim, because you don't want a gap, you want them to meet nicely. Okay, so let me just check this side as well. That overlap? That doesn't overlap. Right, so that's fine. So then what you want to do is remove your tape and fold these edges over. Okay. Come on, you slippery little sucker. Okay, so then fold your edges over, and fold over here. You've got your 1 inch score mark as well, just fold completely over that. Okay, I always do top and bottom first, and then that one. Okay, now don't worry if you end up, see where this one is protruding on that one, it doesn't matter, because your paper's going to overlap. Don't worry about anything at this stage. Okay, and then burnish. Okay, and you should have nice sharp corners there. Okay, put that to one side and do the same with this one. So I'm just going to check my mitering. So when you've got your corners together, if you do that and you can hear them clicking, then one needs trimming. That's another tip. Okay, so just trim. And when you're trimming, trim a tiny bit at a time. There we go. That's that one done. And that one just wants trimming there. And that's that one done. Perfect. Remove the tape. Remove the tape. Okay. top and bottom first. And the way I'm doing it is so we don't need any chipboard. It will be sturdy enough by the time we've layered on our pockets and our paper, and we don't need a binding system, and that is why this is a beginner style folio, because it's made specifically to be super easy. Now what I will do is I've already made one, I've made this one, I'll decorate this one, then I've got a set of two, and I may well make some sort of box to put them both in. I don't know, I'm not sure yet. Have I put the tape on the wrong side? Have I? I've put my tape on the wrong side. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'll put it on the inside like that. Doesn't matter. Ideally, this would go at the back there. Okay, like so. So your tape would be actually on the yeah, my tape should be on the bumpy side, and I've put it on that side. Never mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do then, I'm just going to mitre that, mitre that. Okay, yep. Remove my tape. It's just going to make it a little bit trickier for myself. It's easier if you put the tape the other way, so that you're putting your second book cover on there like so, because then you've got that edge to butt it up against. Okay, so I've made it more difficult for myself doing it this way, but never mind, I'll just fold it over. Okay, very carefully, start at one corner, line it up very carefully, like so. Okay, doesn't matter. Right, and then we're going to fold the 1-inch score mark. Okay, and that creates your little booklet. Okay, doesn't matter at this stage which is the front or back, it doesn't matter. Alright, so now we're going to add the pockets. So let me remind myself where my pockets go. So yeah, okay, so my pockets go on the inside front, on the back, and then on the outer of there. So that's what I'm just going to do here. So get my 3 pockets. Okay, so again we've got tape on the dented side. We need to cut across, get off, cut across the score line. And we don't need to taper at the top there. Okay, and then you fold and burnish. Okay, check those corners again. Okay, just give that a trim. Alright, there we go, perfect. Give it a really good score, a really good burnish, I beg your pardon. Like so. Okay, and so then this one here is going to go on the front cover. So start corner to corner. Have I left any space? Yeah, there's no space, no increment. I've made them the same size, so you're going exactly corner to corner. Right, we're not leaving 1/8 of an inch, nothing like that. So find your corner, match up your first corner, okay, and get your first edge straight. Okay, like that. Use your fingers and thumb like that to make sure that those are right, and then the rest should follow along. Okay, line it up, she says. There we go, and get that on there like that. Okay, and that's your first pocket, nice and neat and tidy. And then because we've put that pocket on there, That gives us extra sturdiness along that edge, okay? Which is another reason we don't need chipboard, because it's nice and sturdy, okay? So then we've got one on the back and one right. So then we're going to do the same here to make, and then that then makes this edge sturdy as well. Okay, I'll fold and burnish. Okay. Get off. And then we're going to cut. Is that scar line straight? Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm just making sure my scar line, it didn't look straight there, but okay. And then I'm just going to check. It needs a little bit more off. Just keep adjusting it, it's fine. There's no rush. Take your time. I'm probably being a little more rushed than I was if I wasn't doing a video. That one still needs a little more off, so I'm just going to take it off of that side. Okay. There we go, I'm happy with that. Okay. Then give it a really good burnish, because you want these pockets to sit nice and flush, and the more you burnish them, the neater they'll sit. Just make sure that that's, yeah, that's fine. Okay, remove that. So this is going on the back cover exactly the same as the front, in the same place on the outer edge. So find your first corner, line it up, okay, and line that edge up, and then the rest should just follow nicely. Okay, and there we go. Okay, and then the final pocket you want to put on your back cover, on the back of your back cover, beg your pardon. And it's up to you where you want it, whether you want it there or whether you want it there. But I just thought, because we've already got that one there, then so it's not too bulky, we'd have it there instead. Okay, so then you're kind of spreading the cardstock thickness around the project so that one area is not too bulky, and it helps give support on both sides. Now, I'm not a mini album making expert, okay, but I've been paper crafting for a very long time, and so it's all about just thinking. You can make your own up, but it's all just about thinking about adding strength if you're not doing a chipboard folio or album, and about not putting too much stress on the spine as well. But these projects are lovely, quick and simple projects to do. They show off the paper beautifully, and they're a nice thing to gift, you know, and they don't take too long to make once you've got your basics down. They don't take long at all. And if you're following measurements that somebody else has done, then all of that brain power has been done for you. All you've got to do is follow it and stick it together. The hard part is in coming up with what to do and where to put it. Okay, so having my back, doesn't really matter where. I'm going to put it here, okay, to just add a little bit of strength to the spine there at the back, because of where how I ended up adding my cover, because I put my tape on the wrong side. Okay. So these just line corner to corner, no spacing or nothing. Okay. Okay. There we go. Alright. So that's our cover. Now, if you want to strengthen the cover, what you can do is, before you put that pocket on, what you can do is you can put a line of tape all the way around if you want. It's really not necessary because it's just a folio. It's not as heavy as a mini album. So this is going to be the main central pages. Alright, you've got 2 score lines. You just want to fold on those and burnish them. Don't worry thinking, oh, that's really flimsy. It won't be when you've finished and completed your folio. It will be perfect. So now what you want to do, and for this I do advise using glue, just so that you've got a bit of wiggle room. Now this is being measured ever so slightly. It's actually 1/4 of an inch smaller than the book cover. Okay, so you'll need centering with an even gap top and bottom, which is approximately it's 1/8 of an inch each side. I know it is because I've measured it. You want to put plenty of glue on, but you don't want it splodging. Okay, so don't go right up to the edge, because once you put this down, the glue will press outwards. Use a good quality glue. Don't use a cheap PVA glue. Using cheap glue is a false economy. You can use tape if you want, absolutely fine, but I just find that if you want to give yourself a bit of chance to move it about, glue's the best option. Now the easiest way to do this is to go like this. So there's your spine, go like that and flatten it, okay? And then you're attaching this to here. So you flatten it, turn it around, okay? So you've got a flat piece instead of a folded piece. And you want to put it central in that score line there, just thinking to yourself to leave maybe 1/8 of an inch, okay? So 1/8 of an inch will be approximately the same gap there that you should have top and bottom if you've got it central and straight. And you can see it's straight by checking each side there, okay? Then press. Give it a minute to settle before you open it, okay? Then you want to open it like that, and you want to open it fully, and you want to just have a look and see if that is in the middle of these 2 score lines here. Okay, mine isn't, but because I've used glue, I've got time to just shift it, okay, so that it's more or less in the middle. Now don't worry if it's, you know, a cat's whisker out. It doesn't matter, it's just a little folio. Then just fold over and then just check that you've got more or less the same distance between the score line at that side as you have at that side, okay? And if needs be, just gently adjust it, and then when you're happy, okay, leave that to dry, okay? And that's where we're going to leave it for today. All right, and then I will be back with another tutorial on page, I think we'll do page 1 and 2 and then page 3 and 4. All right, I will be back with another video shortly. Bye for now.